This video will start exactly the way you might have guessed. Me saying that I used to love birthdays, the balloon, the cake, the idea of getting closer to becoming a beautiful teenager, then an outstanding woman, meeting this handsome, amazing man, and getting a job, maybe starting a business, making money, pursuing my wildest dreams. Now, my birthday is the day I probably dread the most out of the whole year. Just like the end of the year, because I do have a little beef with Christmas now. It also feels like the end of the year where I reflect on the past 12 months, even when I'm trying so hard not to, but they do come to mind because it's like the end of a chapter and the beginning of a new chapter. I've been trying to be like these people that don't measure their lives in years, but they just, they do it day after day. They plan for things, but it's just season after season, but it's not the day they were born that define everything. There's just this visceral feeling that comes and grabs me, especially now that I'm moving towards to turning 25. One thing that happens is that I get overwhelmed by the feeling that I need conventional markers of success in order to prove that I have not just been existing for nothing. Prove to myself, but also maybe to prove to other people that I was not just sucking up air here on earth, but I did something. I changed the world. I contributed. I made more money. I can't just be anymore. I have to do more. And no matter how much I try, I always feel like I'm not doing enough. And a birthday is a reminder of that. And it also is a feeling that this year that's coming, I'm gonna put a lot of pressure on myself to do a lot of things. But at the end of it, I most likely am still gonna feel the same way. And I recently came across this term, which is milestone anxiety. This feeling that you always feel like you have to achieve something maybe every single month, every 3 months, every 6 years, every 6 months, or every birthday, you need to celebrate something. And we forgot maybe how to exist as people. And I think this skewed perception of what achievements and success is supposed to be like has been skewed by, of course, I'm gonna assign some blame to social media, but maybe also consumerism and an individualistic society that puts so much pressure on the individual to achieve. And you want to run in so many directions that even when you have the time, you're not working per se, you have a day off on your weekend, you still have so many things to do. You might have a place to live, you have enough money to buy food, even to do some shopping, to do some traveling, but you are time poor because your time is so occupied by so many things and you're always so tired, and yet you feel like you're never doing anything that's worthwhile. And your birthday is a painful reminder of that, a wasted year. And you don't know how to celebrate somebody you are not proud of, and this person is yourself. And in this milestone anxiety induced culture, no matter how many milestones you hit, it will never feel like it's enough. You will never feel like you're enough until you figure out a way to exist outside of this perception that's been placed upon you. One thing I try to do to help myself is help myself. To feel better is think about how 5, 10 years from now and more, I will look back on these years, on this specific year, on this moment, and I will think, I was so young. Why was I so hard on myself? Why was I so worried about turning 25? You have your whole life ahead of you. You're full of energy, you're beautiful, And I will not notice all the insecurities I have now and all the things I feel like I'm not doing right. And I am probably gonna know that I was not supposed to have it all figured out. And even 10 years later, you're gonna look at yourself, you're gonna think, there are things I should have known. I should have invested my money. There is something that's called a retrospective bias. I think in English it's the term. When you look back and you think of all the things you should have done differently, but really, if you went back in time, you would have done the same things because back then you were doing what you knew to do with the information you had and the level of maturity and wisdom you had, really. So give yourself some grace. Not everything has to be perfect on your birthday because it's really another day, but you can make it a big day to celebrate even just being alive, really. Because for some people it's just normal, but for you, you know what your struggles have been. And if for you being alive is a big accomplishment, it's a big thing, then celebrate it. And it doesn't have to be with a bunch of people, because I know for me, another thing with birthdays is that there's a lot of pressure I put on myself for everything to go well, and anything can throw me off. Like you want to go to the restaurant with your friend and somebody bailed on you, somebody's a little late, somebody makes a little snarky comment. It throws me, it just messes with my whole day. So I think it's one day where I'm quite irritable. It's very easy for me to feel bad. It's very easy for me to be on the verge of tears. And I think, God, this is unbearable. Now imagine living like that every day. But I noticed that the next day, I really do get better and I get settled into this new year. And I'm like, yeah, this is it. This is what we're doing now. I want to tell you it's going to get better, but I can never promise that to you. But usually the next day, some of the pressure is indeed alleviated. And one other thing is to just accept the uneventful days of your life as days where you are still worthy, even the days you're not achieving anything. It's okay to have quiet days, to have days where you're not changing the world, to have days where you rest. And I think these days are crucial to your productivity and to you doing more in the future. No matter what you want, no matter if you're an artist and you feel like you've been blocked recently, these days they're going to build up to something more. And I would like for you to have the faith, and I would like for me to have more faith and to feel less bad about a day where we're supposed to celebrate ourselves. So I don't know how to end this. I remember having a lot to say. I remember having a lot of hateful things to say, but that's all that came to mind today. I will keep you updated if I have another rant. Till then, I hope you're going to be fine.